Any instructions or anything for me?
I'll just introduce you and then you'll go. Yeah.
And then what do I do? Just a little bit from Mamie, she told me.
Guys, we are live, so
Okay.
I'm going to mute and turn off my video.
Just give me your number, but I know you
for sure.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to Mobilizing for Water Justice. This is our 5th time going live with Days of Action, but it's a very special day and we have a lot of guests here today because today is our day of action to undam the Klamath River. And today there are actions happening all over the nation for to support the people on the Klamath River in their struggle to get Warren Buffett to take down the Klamath River dams. So before we do anything else, we're going to introduce Julian Lang, who's going to start us off for today. And thank you so much for being here, Julian.
Okay, yeah. Yo, tama. Man Julian Lang karo. Ko wara panimiati. Wapa peshkesh nani samwado. Na ko wara nani PA paadadas kun karwara kun khusa ne khash peshkesh pamu samwado. Karawuda Thai papikwa, karo pakuri, karo fuhish karo kunipenti hoot ko sakati wo mudapa pa peshkesh. The so much of our river, you know, I've lived here through all of my life. The river's been like my stream. Being as a young fellow, they always used to say that, you know, you need to bathe if you're going to do that, or if you're going to do any of the kinds of things that you're supposed to do, it's supposed to be in the salmon and the Klamath River. And so knowing that and knowing how big the river used to be when I was a kid, and seeing a river that had gone through so many changes, high water, you know, low water, and everything in between, and watching the power of the river basically remove lots of land and kind of enter it back into that stream of water. It's both a power and a person, as we say. The oldest kind of stories reveal that the woman, that the river, Klamath River, is a woman, and that the water is her hair as she flows along, and she's laying there. And so that's a very important part. There's stories all up and down this river. Every place you can go to, there's probably a story that tells us how the world came to be, how the human beings came to be, how the salmon came to be, how the river itself came to be. And there's lots of stories. And one story comes from our neighbors, Nanu Yurukwada Adas, the downriver people, who talk about the sun. The sun that we know today used to be a person, and he was not a very good person according to our way of life. But every day he was very vain, and he would come from the north to the south and from the east to the west, and he had a path so that all the people would have to see him. And he created, every day he would create this path, and he created a path. And then when the people of the earth finally were able to put him where he really enjoyed himself, which was up in the sky where everyone would look at him. His kind of like, he reminds me of you know, the narcissist type folk that we know about only too well. Anyway, he was up there in up in the sky, and then it was okay for humans to come into existence, and that's when, you know, the creator spirits came down, and they sat and they considered the whole world, how it's going to be, how can how good was the world made so that the humans could live. And what it turns out is that the world was not a very good place, very inhospitable, no food, no plants, no anything. It was just sand. And through a series of changes, the water, the 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 earth kept getting better, but still not sustaining life, until finally the creator sat on top of the high mountains, our highest peaks, uh, that are up in the high country, then sat there and began crying. And that water from his tears came down and swooshed around his feet, and then went out to um, all the major uh, creeks and streams, and filled them, and they all flowed down the mountain all the way down, and they hit that path that the sun had made all that time before. And so that path became the channel for the Klamath River. And so what we look at is a reminder of how everything's connected, everything's connected. And then the stories begin just opening up, and how life came to be, and how the salmon came, and how the you know how it all happens, um, this interconnection, and you know, the return of the salmon, and all of that. But one thing that we know is that the river is sacred. It's not. That's the reason why we believe in it. It's a sacred place. And so there were songs as well. And I uh, have a language apprentice, and she's going to sing a song. I was going to try to be with her, but she's going to sing a song. And this is a song. It's an old song that talks about the river, and a place where we call the center of the world. And and at the center, there's a huge mountain that sits there, and then below that mountain is a giant kind of rocky falls that used to be at one time an actual waterfall, until the man whose falls who owned those falls, when he was caught running around with some other woman, and had a second family, and brought his second family home. I was about to, and then next thing you know, his wife, who was grizzly bear, said that she could not stand for that, and so she went and she tore all of his falls apart, and that's why all those rocks are all strewn all along through that channel there. And so this song speaks of that, how the human beings, you know, they knew these stories, and they knew this connection, and they knew everything about this place that they were told by the spirit people. And then now they have people coming who want to destroy it. And so this song speaks to that, and tells the people that Kariomim Hiti, it's still making the roaring sound. Kariomim Hiti, Mitananoino, our Mitananoin, our falls from long ago, still flowing today. Karoma Takunip Taiwanani. But the fact is, somebody has always tried to destroy it. But we believe in it, and it's gone through lots of changes, but it is our falls for the center of the world. So I'd like to pass it on over now to Mamie Donahue. You're yeah.
All right, Ayuki, here I go, okay?
Kariumi Mahiti, Kariumi Mahiti, Metananuin, O Kariumi Mahiti, Kariumi Mahiti, Metananuin, O Kariumata Kunip Taiwanani, Kariumata Kunip Taiwanani, Kariumi Mahiti, Kariumi Mahiti, Metananuin, O Yotwa.
Yotaba. Good song.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mamie, and thank you so much, Julian. Today I'm here in Crescent City, which is I'm on the south side, but which is Yurok and Taloa area. And I'm very thankful for being able to be here today. I just came from a rally in Klamath, California, on Yurok land. And today we're really hoping that everyone can get busy in calling Warren Buffett, tweeting about what's going on the Klamath River, sharing the videos and the social media content, and taking action for water justice. And as part of our land acknowledgement, as every day, we've taken some type of action or donate or ask people to donate to one of the great presenters or organizations or tribes that have presented. But today we're just asking everyone to do the same action, and that's fully commit to making sure the Klamath River dams come down. This has been a struggle that's been going on for almost 20 years, and Pacific Power, which is owned by Warren Buffett and the Gates Foundation, has committed to removing these dams several times throughout those years, and they keep stalling and they keep asking for more and more, and enough is enough. It's been a lot of promises over a long period of time. And with that, I wanted to start by introducing Analia Hillman, who's part of the Klamath Justice Coalition and is one of the hosts for the Day of Action to undam the Klamath River, along with many, many other people. And if Analia wanted to share with us why this is so important, and maybe you can then introduce Georgiana, that would be wonderful.
Sure. And actually, if Georgiana would like to speak first, I know she's short on time today, so I'd like to offer it to her. If you'd like to go open
Yeah,
it up.
that'd be fine.
Cool.
Aikui Nekna Georgiana Jensa Newalet George Essie Shrega Mewe Metchak Essie Turwer Ak Essie. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister. I'm a person who cares and lives for the Klamath River. I live next to it. I have my whole life, minus a few years in the beginning. And to me, there's nothing more important than the Klamath River. It is our provider, and the way that people think of a grocery store, or the way that people think of a farmer's market. That's what the river is to us. It's a place to, and it's a church. So it's all of those kinds of things. It's a place that we go to for renewal. It's a place that we go to for strength. It's a place that we go to center ourselves, because we believe that the river is that strong, that it's that powerful. And since the beginning of time, Yurok people, our Pudak, as we call ourselves, we have an obligation to protect the river, to speak up for the things that cannot speak for themselves. And so dam removal is that key. And dam removal is a part of the answer to fixing the Klamath River. And we've been on this trail. I personally have been to Portland and Sacramento and Omaha. My father and brother went all the way to Scotland. We have traveled, we have put in the miles and the time. We've been to countless water meetings. I've been to 2 Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meetings that we dropped banners on, and we were trying to raise this issue and dam removal to the very top, right in front of Warren Buffett. And we were very successful in getting that attention, and then kindly getting escorted out. And those are the things that people are willing to do. We drop banners off bridges, and people fast and they pray. And in any way that we can, we try to draw attention for the river, and not for ourselves, not for our own gain, although it would mean dam removal would mean more fish, better water, and with the prayer that once again we will be able to swim in our own river, because right now as Klamath River people, we cannot do that. It happens to coincide at the same time we need to be in the river for our ceremonies and for the very important things that we are obligated to do as Indian people. We cannot do them because that's the same time that the river is most toxic. And in the beginning of time, that wasn't a part of the equation. There wasn't a way around that. You have to get into the water. There's certain points when you have to do that. And so now you take a health risk for doing something that we're born to do, something that we're made to do. And so that's really scary. Like I said, I'm a mother. I have 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter. And I want nothing more for them to be like their dad and their uncles and their cousins and go fishing and be fishermen. That's not really something that people can do full time and sustain themselves, whether you're doing it to feed your family in the village. It's really hard to do that now. And, you know, this year was even sadder and bleaker yet. The fish came in, the water was really warm. And so we just had very minimal time to get enough food. And imagine that if you only had so many hours or so many days to feed your family for an entire year, imagine the stress and the anxiety that families and fishermen and women feel when that window is getting narrower and smaller. And then the fish you're bringing home are smaller and not like they used to be. Everyone talks about the fish from before to the fish to we have today. And, you know, we used to have runs of every season, spring, winter, late winter, summer, you know, we used to have all of those. And now we're down to 2 major runs. And now it's even looking like we're down to 1. So we know that the Klamath River is special and it's important, and it's not just important to the Klamath River people, the indigenous people of the Klamath River. It's really important to everybody. The Klamath River used to be the 3rd largest salmon river on the West Coast. So when you look at it in that aspect, and you take a step back and you think of all the livelihoods that depend on the Klamath River, all the towns that depend on the Klamath River, it really is, it has a huge weight, and everybody shares and carries that burden. So I just want to encourage everybody to make those phone calls, do those emails, even if we just get 1 or 2 people to read them at the very top, then we're successful. And, you know, part of it is just keeping the river and the cause and the need for dam removal forefront, that everything else is secondary. And as a Yurok person, that is how I feel. I feel that farms come secondary and watering your cows come not even secondary. And so keeping the need for protecting our river, for helping it. Right now it's sick. The river looks pretty bad no matter where you are. And that's really scary. And so it's a great time to talk about dam removal, to bring it back up, and to really push those that are responsible for the removal to make that happen. And if that means taking on a liability, they need to do that because of the harm that they've caused. So thank you for having me. I hope that everybody, like I said, send that email, talk to somebody, even if you're not wanting to do get up and speak. Tell your neighbors, talk to your friends, let them know about the issue. That's really what we need to be doing, is raising awareness at all levels for California and Oregon. So because the river goes through both, so it's important. You probably are affected by the Klamath River and you may not even know it, but if you take a step back and you think about where your water comes from, where your fish comes from, maybe where your recreational time comes from, for a lot of people, that's the Klamath River. And so I just encourage everybody to bring it up, to talk about it, to know about it, and to really emphasize that the key is dam removal. We can do flushing flows and we can fight for more water, but we really need the whole bucket poured out. We don't need to fight for drips. We want that bucket turned over. And that's our goal, and we're going to keep pushing for it. We've been doing it for a long time. So hopefully this isn't a fight that our kids have to pick up, even though they're with us right now. Thank you so much. Waklau.
Waklau, Georgiana. So glad you joined us today. Yeah, and I just appreciate Julian sharing his creation stories with us today. Oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. Neck now, Analia Hillman. I am a Yurok tribal member. I am a mother also. I am a protector. I'm an artist. I'm a community member, all those things. And I live up here in Kuduk territory. And I just want to say again, like, I appreciate those creation stories because they remind us of our purpose here. And we exist because of that river. Like, that's the reason we're here. It's our sole purpose here, is to take care of that river and to make sure and keep that so-called balance here in this world, right? We depend on it, and for our food, for our ceremonies, all that that Georgiana was bringing up, you know, that's so important to us. And so it's our responsibility to take care of the river, right? And I just am hoping that other people in the world understand this relationship that we have with the world and our waterways. And, you know, in the light of all this climate change and crisis that's going on, you know, it really is important to take care of our water, because that is our cooling system. It is the life force that keeps this earth alive and keeps us alive and keeps human beings alive. And so, you know, it's up to everyone to take care of water and to protect it, you know. And you see, you know, right now, for a lot of people, it seems to be this indigenous narrative that we have to protect our waters, but it's everybody's responsibility, right? So, but we're the communities that are affected the most by it, because it's been this continuous strategy to destroy indigenous people, because we are the most connected, and we understand that. And that's what these billionaires, these conquerors, these colonizers, that's what they fear, because we hold a lot of power in being connected to these places and the rivers, you know. They tried killing off our medicine people, but we're still here. We still exist, and we keep growing that power, and we're going to use it. You know, they didn't destroy that in us, because it exists in our heart, just like these rivers exist in our heart. And you know, we're never going to stop fighting until we can live again like we're supposed to live. And, you know, I'm hoping that people listening today will believe that same. We have to believe in that again, in that earth power, that we belong here to the earth. So yeah, I mean, it's time. You know, our rivers is in a critical condition right now, and the dams have contributed so much to the poor water quality, and the fish populations, the decline in the fish populations. And you know, we look outside today at the river, and I've never seen it so low. I've never seen it so green. And so now is the time. We can't wait any longer. The whole world is falling apart. You see, it's a domino effect. So, you know, this is a time when PacifiCorp and these corporations can be the leaders and show the rest of the world that it's okay to take care of the planet. You can be a corporation and still do the right thing, right? Like, they can be the leaders in environmental responsibility. And so, you know, that's really the message we're pushing to PacifiCorp. Like, you can be the heroes right now. This is the largest dam removal in the history of the United States, and they can be part of it. They have that opportunity to be part of this, to take the lead in it. You know, and they're backing out. And the reason that I believe that they're backing out is because these dams are a monument to their colonization. It's a monument to their power over other people. And if they could just let go of that, let go of their war mentality to keep us down and to exterminate us, then we could fix this world and fix the things that are wrong. So I'm really calling out to Pacificor and Warren Buffett, who claims to be this great philanthropist, and Bill Gates. They're all in on it. If they truly are good people and save children and all that kind of good stuff, have the vaccines. We're joking like, the vaccine for the river is to undam it. But yeah, I mean, if they say all this stuff, then they should be doing the right thing, and they need to take these dams out. We have till December before this new uh, agreement dissolves. And so the time is short, the time is running out. Then we have to start all over again. And we don't have time for that. So they need to get on board now. The time is now. So please, yes, like everyone's saying, write those letters, sign those petitions. Let's get this going and let's put the pressure on. We've got to put the pressure on. And this is, again, part of a larger movement, land back. People, I see those people in Canada and Nova Scotia struggling because it's the same thing. They're trying to destroy our food sources. They're destroying our water. And so we've got to stop it. And this is an easy fix right now. This is an easy one. All we need is Pacificor to say, okay, we'll take the liability. So it's not that hard. And then from there, hopefully others will fall in line with that. So again, this is an easy fix, a good start. I want to be in solidarity with those other fights that are going on right now, because we're all fighting the same system, the capitalist system, and capitalism must fall for this world to continue. And that's just that. So I want to thank you, Walkplow, for having me here today. And I hope that you all take action. And I guess I'll hand it back over to you, Regina.
Thank you. And I think this will work. As people may or may not know, right now there are actions happening all over the country. This morning in Omaha, Nebraska, people went to Warren Buffett's office, tribal members from the Hoopa Valley tribe and Yurok tribe and local Nebraska tribes, to ask Warren Buffett to keep his promise to undam the Klamath. There were demonstrations in San Diego this morning asking the city to not let Warren Buffett take over their power grid, because of the fact that Warren Buffett would not undam the Klamath, and Pacificor caused a lot of fires this year through their negligence, most likely. And right now, there are people at the Capitol in Sacramento that are protesting or demonstrating, asking for Gavin Newsom to take action and make sure these dams come down. Tonight, there's going to be a march at the Lloyd Center, and that's going to be in Portland, Oregon at 5:30. And so all day long, we're taking action. And right now, we have them live in Sacramento. Thank you for being here.
Aikui, Nakna, Virginia Hedrick, Shagon Mewamecha. You might be hearing a double echo here. Here we are in Sacramento on the Sacramento Rivers, the American River here, and I'm a member of the Yurok tribe and have been fighting for dam removal my whole life, and all of my family members were directly impacted. I grew up on the Klamath River and understand now, raising my kids downstream, what that's like and what the impacts are. It's time to undam the Klamath. It's time folks start listening to Indigenous people. Our state's been on fire for years now because of negligence of listening to Indigenous people. We've long understood how to take care of our land and the best ways to keep it well. And it's time now. And we're seeing that now with the fires. We're seeing that with the desecration of our land. And now people are finally listening. It shouldn't be another 20, 30, 40, 50 years where we're still holding these signs. It's time to undam the Klamath now, and for Warren Buffett and Pacificor to hold up to their end of the agreement. And we need allies all over. We need the whole state standing with us on undamming the Klamath. If you care about breathing clean air, if you care about this whole environment. If you've been impacted by the fires, then you should care about undamming the Klamath. You should care about the waterways, and you should care about the land that you're inhabiting now. If you're not indigenous to California, you're a visitor here, and you have a responsibility to be a good visitor. As indigenous people, we know that when we invite visitors on our land, we show them the ways. We've been up against acts of genocide like dams for over 500 years, and it's only been over 150 here in California. And we're asking it to stop now, to begin to undo and right some of these wrongs and undam the Klamath. It's not just a singular issue like Analia mentioned. This is a global, there's things happening across the globe where indigenous people are rising up, and we need those to rise up with us. We need our allies to be standing with us during this time and put pressure in the pocketbooks, put pressure on the pocketbooks of decision makers so we can have our dams undammed. And I know there's a lot of other people here in Sacramento with us. It's a small COVID safe gathering. I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything while we're on.
I just want to say that it's time for Indigenous people everywhere to unite. Having small groups here and there scattered all over the place isn't enough. It's time that we as Indigenous people unite together and form one group, one movement, so that we can be heard in larger numbers and by the people that we're addressing, which right now is Gavin Newsom. And we need to do this over the entire United States. If we want to roll the same way as the movement for Black Lives, not Black Lives Organization, but the movement to preserve Black life, then we've got to move like they do, and the way that they move is as one, and we need to be doing that as well. Thank you. I didn't want to put the organization, but I want to highlight any organization.
From Sacramento. Anybody else?
I think it switched back. I'm gonna really.
Thank you, Virginia.
Yeah. Thank you so much. If anyone else wants to talk from Sacramento, just raise your hand, because that's what it's about today, coming together across the nation to undam the Klamath River. We are now going to ask everyone to take action the same way they're doing in Sacramento. And like I said, if Sacramento wants to talk again, you just talk.
Oh, can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we have one more person who would like to talk.
Yeah, my name's Dan Bacher, and I'm a fisherman, a recreational angler that fished on the Klamath a bunch of times and fish all the rivers and ocean waters. And I gotta say that this is one of the biggest battles that we're fighting to bring back our salmon and steelhead and other species. And it's very important that we stop Warren Buffett from going the direction that he is. He needs to get back and support the agreement to take down the dams. They were supposed to be down in 2020. That's this year, the year of COVID. They're not down. And so this process is stalled, and we need to get Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett to stop stalling and bring down the dams as he agreed to.
Do we have time for one more? Can you hear us? Oh. There's no mute or stop.
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay.
Jimmy Sunway, Morning Star Gully, Pit River Tribe. I'm here with Save California Salmon. And I just want to say that it's time to free our rivers and to undam the Klamath. The Pacific Corps, Berkshire Hathaway, and Warren Buffett have been stalling and dragging their feet on the process. The dams were supposed to be down by now. they could absolutely be down. On my river back home, on our Pit River, we have 7 dams, and it's been close to 100 years now that we have not had salmon within our rivers. This is genocide that is being perpetuated against California tribal peoples. And so we're here on the Sacramento and the American rivers in Sacramento, where our water travels down from our sacred rivers, and that it's important to stand here in solidarity with our relatives and to be here in support, because we know that what affects one tribe affects us as other tribes, and that the health of our salmon and the health of our rivers directly impacts us as California tribal people. And so we're here in support, and we're here in solidarity to say, take down the dams, and it's time to free our rivers.
Oh, right on. Thank you, Sacramento. Is there anyone else? Well, awesome. So I was going to share my screen really quick and show a fast video. It's just a real quick one. And then we're going to share, I'm going to keep sharing my screen, and we're going to have a list of sample tweets in order for people to tweet and share social media to Warren Buffett. We're also asking everyone to take photos of themselves with their signs and post on social media and use the hashtag Undam the Klamath. We are going to be posting all day from Save California Salmons, all of our social media, but also from Red Nation and the Indigenous Environmental Network. And I think that NDN Collective is also doing that. So go to our pages. There's lots of content. There's lots of commercials, short videos showing what the river looks like right now with the toxic algae. And that's the video I'm about to show. And I think that Cody is also going to be sharing a document in the chat to so that you know what kind of action you can take, because if you don't want to do social media, you can also call Warren Buffett to call his office directly, call Pacific Core directly. And we also want everyone to check into Pacific Core on social media tonight during the rally at 5 to 6 o'clock, I think it is, in Portland, Oregon. They're doing a march. If you're in Oregon and you can be COVID safe and you're healthy, then please get out there and go to Pacific Core and let them know we're not giving up till these dams are down. So thank you so much. And also real quick, just so everyone knows, we're also doing a social media challenge. So people who share videos and TikToks and original art, interviews, if you use Undam the Klamath and send us an email, you can enter into the contest, and there's several different prizes and they're all money. So that's really great too. So thank you all so much for being here. And please know this is not just a day of action. This is going to be, we're going to be taking action until these dams are down, because it's time for them to keep their promises. And so now I'm going to share my screen. And if it doesn't work, then someone let me know, okay? And it's going to take me a second to pull up the video, so sorry about that.
That river is our lifeline and our umbilical cord, so not being able to connect with that is a challenge to helping us to heal.
Regina, we need you just to share your screen still.
That river
oh shoot,
is our
okay, sorry, I thought it was shared.
Cord, so not being able to connect with that is a challenge to helping us to heal.
Is it sharing?
Those dams are like a thorn in right now.
Yes,
that
it is.
Is our lifeline and our umbilical cord, so not being able to connect with that is a challenge to helping us to heal. Those dams are like a thorn in right now, and it's just like rubbing and festering and blistering.
Oh, wait. Can I take some pictures of this? Or are you guys gonna?
Everything starts to go back to normal. We're finally understanding that in order to heal and to address these issues, that we really need to think about reconnecting to the land, to the river, to the water, maybe with a little help, with a little medicine, but that wound starts to heal again.
All right, I'm going to pull up on my screen the action for today. And also it's in the Dropbox, but we really need everyone to share your art, share your videos, interview each other, go to the river, do whatever you can to get the message out. Call Warren Buffett and make sure to hashtag Warren Buffett, Undam the Klamath River, and to tag the Gates Foundation, because we need these dams down and we're not giving up until they're down. And also, please commit to staying with us. This is a day of action, but the actions are going to continue until these dams are down, until Pacific Corp and Warren Buffett keep their promise to take down these dams. So I'm going to share my screen again. There'll be a bunch of contact information for Warren Buffett and Pacific Corp. If you're in Oregon and close to Portland, please do go to the march if you're healthy. Wear a mask, be COVID safe. And these actions will continue. So if you feel like you would like to do an action next week too, then keep it going, because like I said, we're not giving up until these dams are down. And thank you so much to everyone who came. I'm really hoping that Cody will play some music while we take action. And for the next 20 minutes, we're all going to be getting on social media and posting everything we can, or emailing and calling Warren Buffett. We know that everyone has different skills, so you don't have to just choose one action, but please do take action. You can also write a letter to the editor of your local paper, figure out if there's a company owned by Warren Buffett near you. And there's so many things you can do, but please commit to doing them. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here on our final day of Mobilizing for Water Justice, which is also a national day of action to take down the Klamath dams.
it the best you can. It's one life to live, so live it the best you can. Somewhere there's a person who lost their mother, lost a son, lost a friend, lost a brother. Way back they had a fight, never spoke hardly. Now they never get the chance to say I'm sorry. Somewhere there's a little boy who's ready to play. First game basketball, but this is a sad day. See, dads had a fight with his moms and he was gone. Now it's sad, see another dad cheering his son on. There's a young girl cut in the flesh, suicidal, nothing but death. Up in the breath, molested by your loved one. The pain is real, but won't tell anybody cause the shame she feels. And somewhere there's a man cheating on his wife, playing with fire, been a liar all his life. And he laughs at his whole past, his stain with sin, and doesn't know his wife's doing the same thing to him. And it's real. It's one life to live, so live it the best you can. It's one life to live, so live it the best you can. Somewhere there's a person who lost their mother, lost a son, lost a friend, lost a brother. Way back they had a fight, never spoke hardly. Now they never get the chance to say I'm sorry. Somewhere a young woman just hit the stage, they throw dollar bills at her. She strips for days, she's getting paid, trying out different ways. She cries herself asleep and says it's okay. And somewhere there's a pastor who prays a lot, but sometimes it feels like heaven's gates are locked. Come Sunday, he's preaching all about his love, even though he knows his daughter's strung out on drugs. And somewhere there's a young man watching his back from the bullies after school, cause they always attack. See, he always had a hard time making some friends, and if the bullies don't stop, he's gonna take his revenge. And it's real. It's one life to live, so live it the best you can. It's one life to live, so live it the best you can. Hey, Victor, what about... Exotic, what up? Jackie, yo.
All right. Well, we hope everyone was able to take action, but it's important that you don't just take action today, but that you continue. The day of action continues all day. We're going to be going live again from Portland, Oregon at 5 or 5:30, whenever the people decide to share with us. But we're also going to be on Facebook, on Twitter. We're going to be making phone calls. You can follow Save California Salmon on Facebook, or California Salmon on Twitter, or California Rivers on Instagram. Also Ancestral Guard on Instagram, Red Nation, and Indigenous Environmental Network, and many, many other people are tweeting and sharing their social media under the hashtag Undam the Klamath. So please continue to take action, not just today, but every day, for this watershed, but also your own watershed, because we know that all these issues are connected, and hopefully we can improve our water quality and our rivers and our planet for everyone. And Leah, did you have anything you wanted to say to help close it up?
Undam the Klamath. Bring the salmon home. No amount of stalling will stop the dams from falling. Yeah, that's what we're missing today, is that unified crowd. So I hope Portland tears it up tonight. It's going to be great. I want to thank everybody for supporting this issue. And again, it doesn't end here. Let's keep pushing and putting the pressure on. Welcome.
We'll see you all on social media and some of you also in the streets tonight. Thank you so much.